What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Hybrid Network and another discussion over the Hellboy universe, in particular, the animated side of things. For those maybe not in the know or you just missed out on them, let's go over a little bit of backstory. After the initial release of Hellboy back in 2004, two animated features were released under Starz Media, releasing in 2006 and 2007 respectively. They're good. And I'm not just saying like, okay, good, I mean like they're really, really good. These features encompass a lot of the experience that comes from reading the Hellboy comics themselves, from the dark tone of the books, to the sarcastic nature of the characters, all the while it incorporates the terrific voice talent of the Del Toro movie's actors. So that means you still get Ron Perlman as Hellboy, Selma Blair as Liz, Doug Jones as Abe Sapien, and even John Hurt as Professor Broom. It's the best of both worlds. Each of these animated films followed two distinct plot lines. The first one, Sword of Storm, steeped itself in Japanese folklore and saw Hellboy transported to an alternate dimension, desperate to find his way out but coming up against all manners of Japanese yokai and spirits, while other BPRD members are forced to contend with the beasts lurking within the real world, attempting to cause unparamount destruction. The second film, Blood and Iron, saw release in 2007, a year after the first, and dealt with events very similar to the Wake the Devil miniseries from the comics, but it gave Professor Broom a much larger role within the context of the story, as the team battles against the resurrection of a vampire while Hellboy is confronted with his dark destiny as the harbinger of the apocalypse. Again, what I mean to get across is that these movies were great, and a third one had been in the works, but we just never got to see it, which is unfortunate because the Hellboy animated series is probably one of the best pieces of extended media regarding the character. While the Hellboy movie from 2004 centered itself in a cult following, and despite my praise for the film, there's always a sense that there could have been a little bit more there to capture the original essence of Mignola's comic series. The animated films bridge this gap and bring the best of both worlds, steeping themselves within folklore and getting as close as possible to the original horror roots of the comics. Character designs seem reminiscent of Mignola's simpler style, and the darkened color palette creates a much more morbid atmosphere, giving us a better understanding of a bureau that works against dark forces conspiring against humanity. There's occult worship, goddesses, evil yokai, and then a straight-faced badass that just doesn't have the time to give a crap. These films embody a lot of why I like Hellboy, and in my opinion, I would love for some of them to make a comeback of some kind. Again, it's probably like way too late to even be asking for such a thing. These films have been around for a decade, and I doubt it would be that easy to bring back the original animation and production team, but that's not going to stop me from making some sort of plea. I mean, even if we couldn't get the same team to come back, I think it would be worth it to try and extend the franchise past the new reboot coming out, maybe creating some sort of animated series for Adult Swim. With Samurai Jack able to make a great comeback and several of its other programs able to make big names for themselves, I feel like it'd definitely be worth it to try and add Hellboy back into mainstream consumption outside of just a reboot. If they really want this franchise to flourish, I think they have to start looking at ways to expand it outside of a singular medium, and animation I think provides the perfect way to encapsulate the new direction and tone that the series is going for. Plus, for those that are still upset over Ron Perlman not being able to don the trench coat and stone hand, this could be the perfect chance for him to come back and continue on with the character. At the very least, I think you should all take it upon yourselves to check out the animated films and the extended animated universe comics. They're well worth it and actually act as great introductions between enjoying the Del Toro movies and maybe shifting into the comic series if you're interested in reading them. Either way, we need more animated endeavors for Hellboy, and if the new reboot is successful, then maybe we'll see more. After all, if Deadpool can get his own animated series, then what's to stop Hellboy? But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, and thank you all for checking out this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Hybrid Network for more updates and discussions on the wider world of Hellboy and his larger universe. This is Luke signing out.